very good afternoon to you on a rather cold and wet day here in Tauranga, Bay of Plenty, Aotearoa, New Zealand, home of match day 1 of the Pacific 4 Series, brought to you by World Rugby. And it is time now for the Trans-Tasman rivalry to resume. It has been 3 years since the Black Ferns played a test match on home soil. They get to do it against their neighbours today. It will be the Black Ferns taking on the Wallaroos. The 21st test between these two nations. New Zealand have won the past 20. Great to have your company as we get set for this. Christina Sue, World Cup winner with the Black Ferns, joining us in commentary. Les Elder on the sideline, injured captain of the Black Ferns. And here are the team lists and so many new faces to look out for. We'll start with New Zealand, Sui, and there are debuts today.
Tēnā koe sumo, kia ora koutou ngā kāinga, nau mai haere mai ki te mātakitaki te Kiumu Whutupōro. Exciting day for the Black Ferns, for the 7 debutants, for the new exciting fresh team, coaching staff. A special moment for our Black Ferns to be performing and playing in this test match today, Sumo.
And 2 new captains as well. Ruahei Daman captaining New Zealand for the first time. Shannon Parry captaining New Zealand. Captaining Australia, should we say. Will lead the Black Ferns onto the park on the occasion of her record-setting 58th Test match in black. What a moment. Former New Zealand Player of the Year, and now no player has played more times for her country than the one we know as Elmo. Kendra Cox-Edge, we salute you today. Special hug from another famous face, Ruby Tui, on debut for the Black Ferns today, and we are set for the national anthems of Australia and New Zealand.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding and join us in the singing of the Australian and New Zealand national anthems.
Australians are, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. With golden soil and wealth foretold, our hope is God by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, all beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let
Beautiful passion, passion and pride personified. Faces of the Ferns. They will now get set. Les Elder on the sideline. We'll ask you, please, to describe this scene for us.
Oh man, that was an emotional national anthem. You know, just knowing some of the stories of some of those girls who are running out for the first time, who are singing the anthem for the first time and about to do the haka for the first time. Pretty emotional watching that sideline. I had to chuck the mic down actually. Almost cried myself.
The Wallaroos setting up in boomerang formation. If there was a roof above Tauranga Domain, it would be bluff. Ko Hia Mai, led by Arahiana Marina Tauhinu. And a remarkable response from the Wallaroos, setting up in boomerang formation. The stage is set. The rivalry resumes. What a privilege and a pleasure to be here as we welcome the Black Ferns back to home soil. Sarah Cox will officiate this match with the assistance of Julianne Sussman and Maggie Cogaror. Chris Asmus in the TMO booth today. That Wally's got to go before the match can start.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Fizz levels high, Les Elder. I can tell you are excited in your sideline position today.
Yeah, I can't even sit down. I mean, I'm trying to get this umbrella in front of me down so I can just watch side view as well. But that was something special, an unreal haka from the Black Ferns, and then Wallaroos walking towards it. They're up for the challenge.
Pauline Piliai Rasambali. Set to go. Australia to kick off. They play right to left as you watch at home. Welcome. Coxage immediately finding Alana Bremner, getting to play with her sister for the first time in a test today. Good defence early. Maya Roos takes the contact. It's going to be physical. You can sense that. First touch for Chelsea Bremner. They drive forward. Rule lets the ball go in contact. Georgia Ponsonby. Again, it's Bremner. That's Chelsea Bremner, jersey number 5. Coxage, Demont. Looking for space. Tui with a first opportunity in black for Ruby Tui. Steps away from one. Kelsey Tanetti, the debutante, stepped over, left it for Coxage. A little confusion. Semple not able to rein it back in. Demont got the kick through for Brodie O'Gorman. Finds Leteinga. Sets it for Crystal Murray, who's covered some great ground to get across. Holmes.
No.
Right through over the ball, Demont handles it well. Oh! To net. Simbale felt the full force of that. Chelsea Bremner, third carry to start this match. Less than 2 gone, and the first penalty goes against M. Chancellor. Just got too excited on the side.
Unlucky for M. Chancellor there. I mean, if Mackenzie had got out of the way, that would have been a clean turnover, and that's a strength of hers. She'll be doing that all day today, M. Chancellor. One to watch, menacing those rucks.
A wonderful player, that is for sure. Out of the Sydney University club, the number out of that same club here. Debuted in 2018, M. Chancellor. Had time in the 7th circuit as well. And here's the play.
No, don't worry. It'll move again.
Ouchies.
Here you go. There's your mark. Drop over, ladies, just please. There's your mark.
Saw some problems in the first match of the day here, the Canada-USA match, with line-out throwing. Georgia Ponsonby on target here. Maya Kaolani Roos. Ponsonby now back at the back of the ball. She's come through the middle. Michaela Leonard does well to disrupt the ball and win the turnover.
Well done, Michaela Leonard. That was clinical defence from her. She's the line-out leader. For her to go through the middle and cause that turnover was outstanding. Since the attempts from the Black Ferns, prior to this, they built 10 phases. The one kick from Demant was really effective with Ruby Tui chasing, but they're trying to obviously keep ball in hand.
It's just a failed ball, that's all. It's just that ball. Yeah.
Already you can see there's a bit of a battle going on between Chelsea Bremner and Leonard there. They packed down for Matatu together in the locker in the 2nd row, so good to see them go head-to-head.
No love lost. Been a good defensive start, hasn't it, Les, for Australia? New Zealand plenty of ball. Australia, by and large, making their tackles, not conceding.
Their one-on-one tackles are going to be pretty crucial for them today, and if they can maintain that for a full 80, be a good game. Good carry there.
Solid carrier, right? Shalene Pomare, who's earned a promotion to starting 10 today.
Okay, stay still, go! Stop!
Straight down the middle of the park. Holmes is there. Has support. Diinga manages to reel it in. Chelsea Semple was there in support. Another turnover made. That is a big play on the halfway line, and the penalty one as well.
Huge play by the captain there, and you know, rugby is a game of battles, and the battle today is going to be a battle of the Lucies.
Sumo spoke about it before, how clinical the Wallaroos defence has been, and even in that set prior to this, they had 2 phases and got some territory. Great chase line, and Shan Perry was all over that, and any good loose forward number 7 knows how to jackal effectively.
Just her speed onto the ball, wasn't it, Les? She's such a combative player, but between her and Chancellor, you've got a couple of fantastic turnover specialists, and then the power of Hamilton as well.
100%, 2 menaces in the ruck and then 1 strong ball carrier. All 3 of them can do that, and they balance each other out with great work rate as well.
Good throw in tough conditions from Talakai. Midfield set. Getting over the top was Fredericks. Into the hands of O'Gorman. And O'Gorman loses the ball in contact. Chance to counter now for the Ferns. It's how they love playing the game, and unfortunately that one goes loose.
No advantage from the first one.
In the carry from Kelsey Tonetti.
Just when we're throwing everything, you know, highlighting how good the loose trio is for Australia, we just have young Kaipo Olsen make that tackle there to force that turnover.
I love your point of view on Kaipo. So you've had a lot to do with her through
Fantastic
Manakura.
scrum from both sides, okay? We keep it like that.
Yeah, she's only, what,
balance,
19
okay?
years of age, playing at this level. She brings that level of composure. Recently came back from an ACL injury, and she was the one that forced that turnover. Like Les says, her ability to get up off the line, make a chop tackle, but it's also the fact that they're sticking in that tackle area as well as where they won that collision.
Set!
One of the great Instagram accounts as well. Coxedge finds Holmes. Holmes just trying to shovel on it. Just might require a little patience here from the Ferns.
I said earlier that the Black Ferns would probably look to keep that ball alive, you know, really let that ball go. But maybe we're just throwing it one past too many. I think for these early stages, they can afford to just hold it, build some momentum, get out of their half, play down that end.
Ariana Talakai with the throw. Trying to get through to disrupt. That was Chelsea Bremner, but came straight through. Black Ferns wearing black armbands today too, and we would like to pass our condolences on to a number of members of the side who have suffered family losses over the last fortnight. And our thoughts are with you all, family, friends.
Right. Drop over. Make sure you got your mark, okay?
First real period of pressure here for Australia. If they can win possession at the line-out, the disrupt must be on the minds of the Ferns. And they set for the drive. Good angle to start. Now they have momentum. Talakai slips over. And they concede the penalty. It was unbound and truck and trailer.
Truck and trailer was not the same move.
Aussie have obviously seen an opportunity to take the Black Ferns pack on up front with their driving maul. So be interesting to see what they do for the rest of the game in that area. See if they'll have another go at that.
We spoke about it, Christina, before the match. The fact that this is a very inexperienced Black Ferns pack.
Well, you think all 8 players alone have 13 caps between them. 2 of them are on debut, and I think Wallaroos are just showing their experience there. And obviously, unfortunate that they were broke off
Ladies,
on that truck and trailer and were offside.
Let's go, please. Come in, please. Come in.
Yeah, fair if they'd held that together. They'd look for all money, a certain try. Ponsonby now with another pressured throw. Straight to the back, and Bremner takes it down. Ferns get a drive on of their own. Ponsonby sitting for Coxedge. Now Demant. Comes up from the back. Surely the knees on the ground has to be released.
Ball's here, leave it, leave it. Don't touch, let the ball come.
Simple. Lettiinga inside for Simple. It's loose passing in the wide corridors at the moment. Bremner. Again, player over the top. Wins the turnover.
They won't be happy with that, the Black Ferns. It's 2 turnovers on the edge of the field now, so they're going to need to tidy up their clean-out area, get a good strong carry, and their support player needs to be there quicker.
Yeah, just a...
Their runner system there, Les, just looked a little bit disjointed. There was no real obvious ball carrier. I think Alana Bremner was on her own there, and any good loose forward trio like the Wallaroos are able to steal that one.
Agree, Sui, and like I said earlier, we're just playing at the wrong end of the field, which is just putting us under a bit of pressure. I think if we can kick it down there and play at the other end, it'll just relieve a bit.
Over the top and a chance at bonus ball here. Alana Bremner now can't hold on. Advantage for Australia. Just a scrum advantage at this stage. Hamilton has Chancellor on her 6. 6 metres out from the Black Ferns line.
No, leave!
Pick and drive from Liz Patu. Vastly experienced front rower. Parry.
Okay, that's enough.
Chancellor will set up for the next pick, surely. Patu again over the line. There is the first try. The Wallaroos strike. 11 minutes gone. Phase after phase, and the Ferns have wilted.
Well done, Liz Patu. She deserved that try. It was a well-executed team forward-pack try where they were composed. They took their time. They didn't panic. Pick and go. Had the support. Had the latch. Going the right way. The momentum. The Black Ferns couldn't stop it.
The Australian forward pack has turned up to play, and they just stamped their mark in the ground there by showing what they can do. They're prepared to take on the Black Ferns pack, and that's rewarded them really well today. So exciting to see, especially when you see them walking at that haka. It shows that you're up for the challenge, and they definitely haven't let that down.
There is a motivation amongst them, that is for sure. Very well constructed forward try to Liz Patu. Debuted in 2014, her 26th test. The 32-year-old today. And Laurie Kramer. The chance at a first conversion. No problem at all. And Australia, 12 minutes gone, leading New Zealand 7 points to 0. New Zealand had started the match with some very direct forward play, Christina Sue, but then in the latter exchanges, they decided to go for width before earning that right to go forward. It's cost them here.
Behind the kicker, stay.
Early doors.
Early days, Sumo.
Pomare just wanted to give that ball to anyone who was in the vicinity, and it's worked out pretty well.
So she stopped her placing by being on the top of her, okay? Let's move, that allowed you on the ball.
Georgia Ponce to be penalised this time. Just a little ambitious.
I'll be a little bit disappointed the Black Ferns only 13 minutes in and already conceded 4 penalties, so they'll need to tidy up that discipline if, to allow the Wallaroos to get back in this game, or stay in the game really. They're winning this possession territory, I should say territory, on 63% to 37, so any time that they concede penalties is going to be costly.
We'll come to that possession stat in just a moment's time. You can see it there, New Zealand 71% of possession in the match. But when you look at territory, you'll understand where they're trying to play the game. And it's inside their own half, and they're going to be doing more of it here.
I get it.
Jacklers are in a good position, like Kendra Reynolds there was. It's that first up front tackle, they're chopping, but they're just not rolling away quick enough.
100% Zoe. They just need to put a bit more effort into getting out quicker, and that would reward their Jackler, their second arrival, with those turnovers. But can't get that right, then the Jackal is
Kendra,
not worth
I can't
anything.
reward that Jackal if these girls aren't clearing quick enough. You've got to allow them to place the ball.
It's also, and you can't blame the Ferns here, but they've been training pretty hard for the last 30 days for this match. They do need to just settle into a rhythm, get themselves back in game scenario play. It has been a long time between tests for the Wahine here. Australia have had 2 tests in May to prepare for this game. And that is a stone cold knock on. And maybe a sigh of relief for the Ferns here. She's looked lively, hasn't she, Bridie O'Gorman? Not shy of a carry.
Not shy of a carry. She was on the inside line. It's probably the inside runner. I wasn't sure whether even she was sure of being the ball carrier there. It was just an uncanny sort of error there. But next phase, next moment, and that's for the Wallaroos. It's fronting up here at set piece.
She was outstanding in the Super W for the Waratahs. She actually scored, oh no, sorry. She made a few good, like 50, 60 metre runs like an outside back.
Yeah, looks like she has the potential for that. Just loves getting her hands on the ball.
Steady!
Big scrum this. Dominant pack so far. The Wallaroos win the tight head. Pomare.
No!
New Zealand captain Ruahei Demont does enough to stop her. Chancellor's in, playing halfback. Batabasanga finds Talakai. Talakai happy to shovel on to the try scorer, Liz Patu. This is a determined and efficient Wallaroo start to this game. Tuliai Rasambale.
You let go. Ball is there.
Hamilton sets it for Batabasanga. There's O'Gorman again, this time playing the distribution role. Now gets over the top, protects the ball. Back to Basunga under pressure. Pomare shoveling it on. Kramer finds Hamilton. Cutting back across the grain before Reynolds finally puts a stop to that. And that one has been kicked out on the full. And that is ball back to the Black Ferns.
Unfortunate end to a good passage of play. I mean, Aussie are obviously playing most of the rugby at the moment and really confident to let the ball go. Pretty exciting from them. The Black Ferns, as you can see too, absorbing the tackles. Every carry that the Australians make is making gain line. They want to make their front up tackles and drive back.
Step over. Step over. Right, okay. We have got to get this going quicker. You stay on your mark.
I think the Black Ferns are putting a lot of pressure on themselves here by trying to almost build phases in this area of the field. And we know any rugby team knows that territory is important, so let's hope these game drivers can get them out of danger here.
First things first, win the line out. Bremner does well. Dumont now feeds it up. Reynolds on the charge. Back for Cox Edge. Pass could not be held by Crystal Murray. Just her second test. And Australia now swing back onto attack just outside the New Zealand 22. Pomare faked one way, went the other. Cox Edge grabbed enough. Fredericks caught hard. O'Gorman again. Playing a crucial role in the middle of the park for the Australian ball runners. Up two. Sets. Fredericks. Taken down by Renee Holmes, just inside the touchline. Big tackles being asked now. Two again. All of Australia's big forwards standing up early in the match. Sui eager for carries.
Okay, leave.
They're recycling well, they are, the Wallaroos.
Looks like a knock on from O'Gorman there.
Unlucky not to get the rip there, Kendra Reynolds. It looked like a turnover, but seen differently by the Reds.
Sui went in for the ball. No knock on called again. Hamilton sets it, back to Basunga. No shortage of runners here. It is relentless rugby from the Wallaroos.
Okay, no advantage.
And the turnover comes, but we'll come back for a further advantage, or a past advantage. And that'll be Australian scrum.
Time off.
Been impressed with the Wallaroos. They had, what, 12, 13 phases then. The ability to recycle and generate phases have been impressive. They look structured, they've got support, they're going strong carries, and it's tiring the Black Ferns, who I think are probably killing a bit too many players closer to that ruck when you see that the Wallaroos are sitting a little bit wider and flatter off the 9 there. So a good chance, a good opportunity here for the Black Ferns to regather, for those real game drivers to step up and have a kōrero to them, have a chat about what they need to do. And for me, so it's probably about releasing a bit of pressure. Need to get the territory. I've been saying it over and over. Yet they're trying to play phases out of their own almost 22.
Got Ariana Talakai down. Not too sure what's happening there, but she's getting a bit of medical attention there. So hopefully she's all good.
Well, don't forget to follow the action of the Rugby World Cup 21, now being played in 22 right here in New Zealand. You can download the World Rugby World Cup app. QR code on your screen as we speak. Available now on iOS and Android. Plenty of great stuff to get your teeth into as well on that app. Stay up to date with all the action from Rugby World Cup. And don't forget, tickets on sale 30th of June. A home World Cup, a chance for Kiwis to play host to the best in the world. And this is a real shame for Ariana Talakai, who is having to be assisted from the field. And that will allow Ashley Masters an early start in the game. Talakai actually replacing Masters in the starting lineup after Masters had that job against both Japan and Fijiana.
I think they're going to make a change.
But a genuine shame for Talakai. No one likes to see a game ended that way.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, real disappointing moment for Ariana Talakai. I hope that it's nothing too serious. Looks as though it might be an ankle injury. And she's got some pedigree in her. Her brother Sam Talakai has played for the Reds and Rebels. Her other brother Chris has played for the Waratahs. And she is first cousin to Sifa Talakai, plays for the Cronulla Sharks.
Must be tough for her being the most talented in the family.
Rugby pedigree all through the family. I'm sure she'll be back strong. Wish her all the best in her recovery.
And she's only 23, plenty of more years in her.
Unfair, that. That's a big sporting family.
Where's your mark? You're inside the 22, okay? Inside. Turn back on.
Grace Hamilton calling the ball behind the scrum. Such an impressive loose forward trio. And they're in their ascendancy early in this one. Coming up to the 20-minute mark.
Set!
Let's see everybody Basanga. Feeds the sky. Cox Edge pins it down.
No, drop, you're offside, drop. She's not on the ball, it's here.
Good carry. Patu already scored one in the match. The Black Ferns called upon to defend again here. They are making plenty of tackles early in this one. Quarter of the match gone. Australia now have a 79% territorial advantage.
Kaipo Olsen-Baker has been hunting that ball all game, and she's finally been rewarded with the pill. Good work, Kaipo. Way to put your body on the line there.
It was great from Kaipo Olsen-Baker, but also, I hate to admit that she was the one that went in and chop tackled from the right angle, did what previously they've been getting penalised for, but was able to roll away. Fortunately, that kick there didn't probably get the metres that Ruahei would have wanted.
I think she's lost ground on that kick.
Yep. Right, speed this up.
Here is Kaipo. Hugely engaging character. She was incredibly excited about getting her chance today. Georgia Ponsonby, she has to make this count. They go to the front. It's a smart play, but it's not straight.
Put on the outside.
It's pretty rare for Georgia Ponsonby to throw one not straight. She'd pride herself on her hooker ball. Unfortunate there, and they're back under pressure, back defending in their 22.
You all right?
34-15, Ruxton Moores in Australia's favour. They take the line out, it's M. Chancellor again. Absolutely screaming at her mates to keep the drive on here. Cox Edge does the same for the Ferns, and they counter. Now the breakaway, Masters. Badawasanga. Need to go wide, surely. Still another hit up, this time it's leaning. Just a little slow in those last couple of phases, Les, allowing the Black Ferns to regather here.
Yeah, if they keep that momentum, they clear those rucks a little bit quicker. You might actually find the Black Ferns a bit short. They're honeypotting a little bit, quite close to the ruck, so there's space somewhere else out wide.
Yeah, good turnover.
Now they turn it over. Here's the breakout opportunity. Demont, ball's gone loose through the hands of Tanetti. And Australia, you can see Chancellor's face. That was an absolute sigh of relief.
Absolutely. Kelsey Tanetti would have been away. We know what she brings as an athlete. She's currently a contracted Black Ferns Sevens player, and wasn't sure whether Demont knew whether she was running, kicking, was she going to go. They had 4 on, almost 2 there. It was just unfortunate they couldn't quite bring that one in.
Looks like we've got Liz Patu down, getting some attention, medical attention. Hopefully she's all good as well. Oh, she's back on her feet. She'll be right.
Yeah? No worries.
I'm starting to become reminded of the rope-a-dope here. take an absolute beating early in the match and tire the other team out. Australian players starting to blow a little harder, puff a little louder.
All good?
New Zealand can keep soaking up this pressure and not concede points. Then I fear it's only a matter of time before momentum shifts. Scrum has to fire here. Australia's so good. Already the tight head in the game.
Looks like Australia have got all their backs loaded on the open side here. No one on the blind. And here we have Mahali and Murphy taking it to the line.
Murphy comes in off the right wing. They look to set it up. They look to create the numbers and then some confusion. Butabasanga didn't know who to throw the ball to. That'll be a turnover, surely, and a penalty. Big, big, big play.
Kaipor Olsen Baker again.
Just starting to win a few of the small battles here, the Black Ferns. That's what they're after. Flicked back for Tui. Shade of a forward pass from Coxedge, not picked up, and Tui up to the halfway line. There are numbers. Aisha Letainga. Mahali Murphy makes the tackle. Bremner. That's Chelsea. Now Dumont. Into the hands of Amy Rule.
Shannon Perry over that ball too fast.
Black Ferns were looking dangerous there. I love the pass that Crystal Murray was able to do. You know, front rower, loose head prop, able to give those passes out wide. But Black Ferns do not take support with them as ball carriers. Good forwards like Shannon Perry are clearly going to look to jackal and steal this ball. We're just too slow in that clean out there.
Number 2 in the match for Perry. Signs of life.
Battle of the Loosies. Kaipor got 2 turnovers. Shannon just matched it with 2. Let's see what more comes from these loose trios.
Okay, yep, good.
This game has got an old school vibe, hasn't it? Mud for starters. It's the last time we saw mud in an international.
Entry.
There's the penalty.
Number 4. Entry.
Fans packed around the hoardings, brollies up, mud on the faces.
Got to hit that back player, not the sides. Just in there.
It's a real Days of Your vibe going on here.
Who Days of Our vibe? Me and Sui.
You'd be right in your element here, Les.
Hard to stay on my seat at the moment. I'm trying to get closer and closer to the field.
Sui wouldn't want to be out there, though, standing in the back line in this, surely.
Pretty sure she played 10 on the weekend, just yesterday, for her club team. Is that right, Sui?
Back to the match, team. Back to the match.
And went to full 80. Drivers on here. Masters has it. This is great grunt from Australia.
No, you brought your own ball down. You brought your own ball down.
Ball has collapsed. Tackle. Ball is loose. It's still there, though. Australia in possession. Will they set another? O'Gorman sucks in the advantage there. The Black Ferns couldn't resist. It was actually really good timing from the tight head prop. Waited till the defence jumped and then she carried. Just a couple of metres out. Now they find some depth on the back line. Advantage still applying. Dumont makes a good tackle. Ponsonby gets her hands on the ball.
You've got one here or one a little bit further over.
Decision to make now for Australia.
Yeah, that's why you've got an option between the two. Hands up, okay? You've got
Again,
offside in the
Australia
back foot.
putting some pressure on the Black Ferns with their pick and go.
Close.
Every carry makes
Yeah,
gain
yeah,
line. The Black Ferns need to get underneath them, drive them back if they're going to compete, because they can't allow those easy meters to be made.
Eliseva Badibasanga debuted in 2006. And it's 19 tests,
She can't
including
tap and
this
go
one
back here.
since.
Ruby, please.
If I am
Just
the
like
Black
that.
Ferns here, I am taking a points victory on this. I really am. The momentum is all with the Wallaroos. They are by far away the most dominant full pack out there. A line-out drive here, going for the try. I think it sends a statement that kicking for post does not.
Don't charge. Stay there.
I agree with you there, Sumo. They definitely let the pressure off there. The Black Ferns will be happy they took that 3.
Kramer makes it count. It is points on the board, though. It is 10 points to 0. Australia leading the Black Ferns here at Tauranga Domain. Match day 1 of the World Rugby Pacific 4 Series.
The rain's starting to come in a little harder right now, guys, so see if the changes the game at all.
Pressure from Aisha Lekta-Iinga.
Okay, leave it black. Stay on side.
Hard to remember the last time the Ferns were inside the Australian 22.
Take him back.
It's an awfully long time ago. 30 minutes almost up in this first half. Here's Tui. Takes it up to the halfway line. Holmes now. Away for Tanetti. Tanetti skips out of 1. Demand. Holmes. Good tackle made on her by Michaela Lennon. He's trying to shuffle it around the outside of this defensive system. Lekta-Iinga looking for support. Finds it in Ponsonby. They need to get there. Demand. Rule. Coming back across the grain and well chopped down by Masters. Slow on the recycle. Chelsea Bremner draws in a couple of defenders. Plenty of Wallaroos around the ball here.
Advantage offside.
And they flick it out and they draw a penalty of their own. Bremner. Busy, drops the ball. There is the penalty. Coxhead says, let's go. Coxhead setting up Lekta-Iinga. High tackle. Try will stand there. Could be more.
I think we just got a glimpse of what the Black Ferns want to do. They want to play up tempo, tap and go, play fast, get it to the edges. That was great passage of play, playing one side to the other. Good work, Black Ferns.
It's great heads-up play there from Almo. She knew that the forwards were not back on side. She wanted to play that tempo. They had the momentum, and you're never going to stop someone like Lekta-Iinga.
So we'd have played through that advantage.
Fantastic
and they've
try
also scored.
and
So I'm happy that we've played through that phase, unless you're seeing anything different.
That is a
Sarah, there is
red card.
indirect head contact, very low danger. The grounding is very clear. Stick with your on-field try.
Yeah, you're all good. Yeah, carry on. No.
How is that indirect head contact? That is a forearm in the jaw of Aisha Lekta-Iinga.
No.
And we're trying to get high shots out of the game.
It's very questionable. I mean, you just said it before. Forehead, saw the net go back.
And yes, in answer to your question, use the time off now as a water break if you want
If
to.
you watched enough rugby,
Yeah.
and you
Sorry,
see a game
just,
of footy on
give me 2
television,
seconds
and you
on the
see a tackle like that in
transfer
it, you know
and
that
then I'll
the
answer you
very
after that,
least
right?
is a yellow card.
Agreed. Head contact occurred, yes. Is there a degree of foul play?
Yeah, we'll use that as a water
What degree of danger is in there? And doesn't seem consistent if you look at refereeing across
Thank you.
across both the men and the women's side game.
It's a game of rugby. Cox Edge can't convert.
You got a time check there, please, Chris. 32, I think I saw.
Mahalia Murphy Oh, I think it's dodged a bullet here.
Right,
I'm sure there'll be plenty of
Drop
argument
back, please. We're very close.
on couches on both sides of the ditch. Pauline Piliai Rasimbali. Cox edge.
Much better clearance from Kendra Cox there. Caught it straight away, knew to relieve some pressure, and you know, whether it's 10 or 15 metres, it's important that they take that pressure off the Black Ferns, and we know what the Wallaroos have been doing to the Black Ferns in this first 30 minutes, so great that she was able to relieve some pressure there with a clearance kick.
What's old mate up to, Les? Is she dancing there? Keep him warm.
Is that old mate Ruby Tui?
Yeah.
You know her, she's entertaining. She's talking to herself, she's gooseying no one, putting in a couple of dance moves as well. So she's one to watch, very entertaining.
Life in the match now as O'Gorman takes the hit up to Munt. Rushes out the line to make the tackle, and then the knock-on is made by Kendra Cox. You thought she had the turnover. It is hammering down here rain-wise in Tauranga, that is for sure. Vanya Wong.
Kaipo Olsen-Baker, third turnover. Wow.
Incredible. Sui. The chair goes up every time Sui gets anywhere near the ball. Such is her popularity. Kendra Coxedge trying to milk a penalty. Simple goes straight through the hands. And I think it's into Mahalia Murphy it was.
One from Black.
If we look at the Black Ferns and where we're setting up our pivot, so the person that sits behind the three forwards, they're a little bit lateral, which makes it easy for the defenders to just drift off and put pressure on them. So they might want to just adjust their alignment there so that the options they're presented, the pitches they're presenting are a bit different than what it is now.
First test match for the Black Ferns. Olympic silver medal, an Olympic gold medal. She has never represented her country in a game of 15s. And she is one of 7 today to have that opportunity. And for all her experience, she's probably the most excited of the lot.
When is Ruby not excited about code and women's rugby? She is a vibe, and she's been an absolute professional this year in the environment. She brings so much to the environment. We've been pleasured to have her.
Oh, this is just great stuff. He's got the high-vis camo on. He's got the gummies. And that little one's going, they've dragged me to the rugby today. They have dragged me here. I am rolling them for all the fast food on the way home. Bubbas are happy. They're in the comfy spot.
Here's Tanya Kalonivali's whānau. They'll be very proud of what she's been able to achieve. Look at that. Congratulations, the Kalonivali whānau.
Okay. Crouch. Binds. Set.
Could be a case of who builds an arc first that wins this game. The way the rain is falling. As it stands, the Wallaroos back on the attack. Ball is lost.
So not one offside.
Coxedge just wants to get on with everything.
I think that was Kaipo Olsen-Baker in with another hit that caused that bubble the ball going forward as well.
She's having some debut. That is for sure. Good clearance this time from Ludemont. And there's a famous face too. Black Ferns 7 skipper Sarah Hiddeny.
Nice and dry up there, Gossie.
Yeah, well, she's not on the cheap seats anymore, Liz, that's for sure.
I think I got those today.
Yeah. Just back, of course, New Zealand taking out the London Sevens, part of the World Series. HSBC World Sevens Series. second tournament back and the first title for what has become one of the more remarkable teams in world rugby. Kendra Reynolds sets it for Kendra Coxedge. And that is a good nut too from Coxedge.
The two kicks that Almo or Kendra Coxedge has done in the last two times have been effective, and I think that's what's needed. That's what's necessary at the moment when you have only 25% territory. They're looking to someone like her, 58th match, to be able to relieve that pressure from such a young pack and not ask so much of them in terms of the efforts and trying to carry and build phases.
This time it's not straight from Australia. Masters comes up with a mistake. And the Black Ferns have great field position for one last tilt at a try here.
She is bucketing down now, but how cool is it to see the crowd that's turned up for the game today? Massive acknowledgement. It's so important for us to have our supporters here in this World Cup year, so thank you to everyone that's out here today, bearing the rain, umbrellas up, watching some code.
Yeah, and I can tell you it's not just Black Ferns Sevens here today. Some of the White Ferns have arrived from their cricketing camp as well. It's not a day for cricket, but the White Ferns are here supporting the Black Ferns. Minister for Sport and Recreation sitting up in the stand, the Honourable Grant Robertson.
Okay, stand up. No, we're crowding each other.
Make no mistake, this is where it begins, the groundswell of support that we hope to ride all the way through the Rugby World Cup.
Crouch! Binds!
Lana Bremner face a picture of concentration. Up against Grace Hamilton, who's packed down on the side of the scrum, and it's a big scrum from the Wallaroos. They are pumped up.
Stepping out of the contest.
That is a big momentum shift for the Wallaroos to beat the Black Ferns and push them back off their own scrum. That's massive. You can see there, I think Liz Patu getting the angle in on her opposition, Amy Rule and taking her team forward.
Just that, yeah.
They'll take confidence out of that.
Well, it's a crucial time too. Last minute of the first half, setting up with a scrum, a good opportunity for set piece in the dying stages of the half, and you're tonked at scrum time. It's got to hurt deep down inside.
Now take it on the end here. Come over. That's your mark there. And let me check for you, okay? Chris, you got a time check, please?
Someone needs to look after that teddy bear. Wallabies and all sorts down there.
Okay, well, just give me a time check, please, mate. No, I need to know what time it is now.
Probably never seen this much rain.
Not straight.
Not straight.
Maybe one last chance here. Can they conjure something, the Ferns, before the break? One thing's for sure, Christina, is that this team will be better for 40 minutes of football.
Yep, no worries.
You can't replicate the pressure of test matches and training. It's a new team. The lines have been drawn in the sand, and it's their first chance to play a game in anger in such a long time. They will be better for
Make
this.
sure you stay there, okay?
They certainly will, and when you know you've got 7 debutants, you heard from Wayne Smith earlier in the week saying, I expect mistakes, I expect errors, and that's the learning growth. That's the learning period where players, I mean, it's not the World Cup right now, and it's an opportunity for them to experience this test match footy and then reflect and improve for next week.
Got to win a scrum ball, and they do. Here goes Kaipor. Kaipor, Olsen Baker looking for support. Tui is there. Sevens experience to the fore, surely.
We just got a taste of what she can do off the back of a scrum. She is quick. I mentioned it earlier. She gasses any 7 or 6 when she picks off the back of that. But unfortunate, again, the Australian Lucy's just coming in over top of it.
Kaipor did well then to know, do I give the offload, do I give the pop? No, she played it safe and placed it really nicely. It was the second arriving player that came in on that angle off her feet that was unfortunate. That might have been Chelsea Bremner, but, you know, momentum looks like it's shifting.
Chancellor comes up with a big play to finish the half, and it's Australia leading New Zealand 10 points to 5. A big 40 minutes still to come Stay with us as the Big Four continues. Fantastic. Some real classics going on up on the main stage here at Tauranga Domain. Meanwhile, on the other main stage, the field of play, it's Australia, leading New Zealand 10 points to 5 at the half-time break. th of June, tickets on sale, tickets 2021.rugbyworldcup.com. Make sure you're a part of it. Teams due out any minute. Scotty Stevenson alongside Christina Sue. Les Elder's sideline as we bring you a Spark Sport broadcast of World Rugby Pacific 4. Match day 1 from Tauranga. It has been a wet old day here in the Bay of Plenty. Christina Sue. Big opportunity for Australia. Big opportunity for that kid to really damage himself. Big opportunity for Australia to get a first win against the Black Ferns. They haven't had one yet in 20 attempts.
Yeah, they've certainly had a really good first half and they've dominated the territory and, you know, up 56% to 44 and are playing actually quite a good team game. So I'm hoping that the Black Ferns coaching staff will go into the sheds and have some good messages at halftime and you see the momentum shift in the second half.
Oh, no doubt they would have. And I think the first message would be keep calm, be patient. Australia had the better of them in the first half of that. There is no doubt, led by the likes of M. Chancellor, Shannon Parry, the captain, Grace Hamilton, and Bridie O'Gorman. Probably deserves a mention in dispatches as well. They lost Talakai early, so a change already made for them. Ashley Masters coming in early in the game at hooker. And Liz Patu scored the first try for Australia. Converted by Laurie Kramer, and then Australia's points coming from the boot of Laurie Kramer by virtue of a penalty. Just the one try to New Zealand. That was to Aisha Leteinga. Out on the left-hand side after a quick tap from Kendra Coxedge and a high tackle from Mahalia Murphy that went unpunished. So all in the book, one try apiece.
Just wait for me, okay?
And Coxedge waiting on the call.
Okay, just make sure we're behind, okay?
Sarah Cox blows time on, and Coxedge kicks deep inside the 22, and that one just slides off the boot. So some field position early in the second half for the Ferns.
Yeah, Pauline Pilio-Rasibalia has been actually good in that midfield. She's a great kicker, has a good, powerful punt behind her. Just it looked as though it went off the side of her boot there, but an opportunity here for the Black Ferns to set a really good set piece and launch from it.
Chancellor's at the front of the lineup for Australia. Crystal Murray for New Zealand. It drops down on Georgia Ponsonby. Sets for Coxedge. Have to find good carries, but more importantly, they need good support. Leteinga feeding it off to Kaipo Olsen-Baker. Now the kick through from Dumont. Pressure on Kramer. Her counterpart, Renee Holmes. Holmes looks for Tui. Slips it out. Player under pressure, knee down. Must be released.
Don't push it into her. Use the ball.
Dumont. Carry from Maya Roos. And unfortunately, the penalty is conceded again. And again, it's good work over the ball by Australia.
Yeah, really good work from Australia, and I think they've conceded about 2 or 3 penalties now. The Black Ferns with ball into contact, they're not quite winning that breakdown battle with ball carrier placing long and support getting in nice and early to clear out those jacklers there. Ashley Masters did very, very well to get over that ball.
Black on the line. You take the line, okay?
Key messages, Les Elder, for you. What would you have said to this Black Ferns side at half-time?
Key messages at half-time. I think there needs to be a bit more of an intent up front. There needs to be more of a physical battle between the Black Ferns forward pack. I would say that the Australian forward pack will be pretty happy with their performance in that first half, so the Black Ferns will need to step it up this half.
Yeah, more of the same from Australia. I'm sure that would have been the word from Jake Agoning. And Aisha Leteinga can't quite get there, and the ball is knocked on.
Knock on.
Starting to find space.
I think that was the right idea there. It was just a matter of timing, and you can't even, any dry day you would have seen probably the ball bounce up and you could catch that on the run, but out on the Tauranga domain pitch there, it's almost just like mud, and it'll hit the ground and there's sort of no bounce back.
There are some nervous faces amongst the crowd, many of whom are Black Ferns supporters, obviously. A few Wallaroos fans floating about as well, who made the trip across the ditch.
Binds!
8 handling errors to 2. Australia's control is the other element of their game that has been impressive.
Okay, make sure your feet are
considering
underneath you and
the number of rucks and
make sure
mauls.
you hold your weight, okay?
And the time and possession.
Let's go again, please.
The fact that they've only made 2 handling errors in the match says something about the accuracy of their play today.
Second.
Crouch! Binds! Set!
Better scrum from the Ferns, but the ball is out for Australia. Palmari, taken by her opposite Timon.
Take it
Deep
back!
from Buddy Basanga.
Ball through, wing is through.
Leteinga for Holmes. Holmes to Semple. Semple
6, stop! Good work.
putting it on the boot, not quite clearing Kramer, the fullback. And that is a good reply from Laurie Kramer, forcing Renee Holmes deep in her own 22. Kicks off the left, it's charged down, then maybe knocked on. Yes, it was, says Cox. Knocked on.
Bit of force back happening between 2 teams there, but Australia definitely won that one. Great return kick by Laurie Kramer, which has put her team in a beautiful position to attack in the Black Fern 22.
Looks as though Chelsea Semple's down in back play or down there. I don't know whether it's her knee she's been seen to, but as soon as there was a stoppage in play, she signalled down for the physio to come over, and yeah, I know she was the one that instigated that by doing the kick, and she loves a good kick, old Chelsea Semple. And I think with the Black Ferns backline that we have at times, you know, it could be that they just back themselves and run it.
Pretty excited to see what's coming. We've got 3 girls up in black on the sideline here. You've got a All Chiefs Manawa front row on their feet right now. One of them in particular, actually 2 of them in particular, possibly making their debuts. Look at the crowd, their whānau is in the crowd. Big signs up there, big balloons. Kaloni Valley and Mulu families. Be excited to see these 2 run on.
And Luca Connor, also young in her career as well, but Angel Mulu and Tanya Kalunavale to make their debuts as front rowers for the Black Ferns today.
She's just going off, that's all.
Meanwhile, Amy Rule, Crystal Murray and Georgia Ponsonby have to get through this next scrum.
Number 22, Hazel Chubbuck, one of the standouts in the Super Rugby Opaki games. She is replacing, looks like...
Chelsea Semple coming off.
Chelsea Semple.
Oh, so experienced, Hazel Chubbuck. She feels like she's been on the scene for so long. And I think the wonderful thing about someone like Chubbuck in a situation like this is the calmness and composure she can bring.
She's got the ability to really light a game up. So cool to see Hazel back in black. It's been a little while coming, but very deserving of her place out there.
If I'm not mistaken too, she may well have moved into first 5 with Demont moving out 1.
Set!
Another big scrum from the Ferns, starting to find some parity at scrum time here. Meanwhile, the Wallaroos in possession inside the 22 once more.
Ball's here.
Caitlin Leaney took it up. Bridie O'Gorman has been hungry for work today. That one is knocked on. An advantage now applying for the Black Ferns. And they will win that advantage. Wallaroos were in no mood to let her go. No mood to let her go.
This opening 5-minute passage, you can sense the intent from the Blackfern. The Blackferns, they are set, they're getting off the line, they're putting some pressure on with some line speed, and it's forcing errors like that. So a really good defensive effort there for the Blackferns.
And here they come. 3 front rowers being replaced. Angel Mulu in number 17. Tanya Kolonivale, Luca Connor. Congratulations, Angel Mulu and Tanya Kolonivale on debuting in black for the Blackferns.
Fantastic scenes. What a support crew these players bring with them, take with them wherever they go. You can't break the bonds of whānau, that's for sure. Family ties are everything.
Ready? Are we going? Okay. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Another big scrum from the Ferns. The change is made. The result comes. Big effort.
Straight away made their impact in the game with a scrum penalty. That front row will be pretty happy with that.
3 big scrums in a row to Christina Sue. As I mentioned, they're searching for parity. They may have gone past that point. Tubic, though, needs to find touch and does.
Straight away, the impact from the bench, the front rowers, Mulu, Connor, Kolonivale, they were outstanding in that set piece. And like you said before, Suma, there were 2 other set pieces there where they were dominant, and there's no difference now. Scratching the head there, Sir Graham Henry. Where do you reckon he's sinking there, Sumo?
I don't know what he's thinking. Sir Graham Henry's trying to hide at the top of the grandstand. There's no hiding for the World Cup winning coach.
Bit of a special play there off that line out with an inside ball from Luca Connor to Aisha Leteinga.
Starting to come into her own. Aisha Leteinga in this game, isn't she, Les? Such a busy player.
She is busy and she's quick, explosive. And here we've got some stuff happening on the edge of the field here with Alana Bremner and the strong carry.
Aisha Leteinga lining up this left-hand side at the moment. They come back to the right. Again, the inside ball. Leteinga must have touched it 5 times in the movement. Cox edge to Connor. Connor gets it away to Mulu.
It's Angel Mulu's 3rd carry in a couple of minutes. She is stamping her mark, and here's Tanya Kolonivale.
There has been an uptick in energy here from the Ferns for sure. Connor again taken down. Still plenty of runners waiting. There's the try on debut. Tanya Kolonivale, and her family is going nuts.
Outstanding moment for Tanya Kolonivale. She was well deserving of that try. Her impact from set piece to her go forward and her work rate has been pivotal in this last passage of play. Well done to the whole team effort there.
What a way to debut. Not just her, but also Angel Mulu. The 3 of them, Luca Connor, all 3 of them come on, made an impact straight away. Even Hazel Tubic with a couple of quick balls in there. Aish with some Gregan balls off Kendra Cox edge. Now we're starting to see some exciting rugby.
It's the try that brings the Black Ferns level with the Wallaroos. Big impact play.
I'm going to show you a double latch on the ball carrier prior to the try being scored.
Okay, mate, no worries. Just making my way over to the screen now.
Looks like we might be looking at something here, team.
Yeah, it's a TMO describing it as a potential double latch on the ball carrier before the try is scored.
Terry, can you see that on the screen?
Yep, that's on the screen, mate.
So we're looking at the ball carrier, and number 7 and number 4 are pre-latched prior to contact with the defense, and they drive the ball carrier over the line.
No, so it's the one before that, mate, okay? So just roll that back, because this one is where they score. So if you go back to that previous ruck, so not this one, the one before.
Yeah, I'll get it back.
Yep, keep going. So we're looking at the 2 players already bound. So keep going on this one. That's amazing. So we've probably got 17 and I think it's 6. So they're already bound. So we've almost got that pre-latch there by 2 players, 1 either side. And this is there. And then they go through and then they both hit the floor. So just roll that through on real time. So is that what you're showing me there, mate? Is that?
Correct. There's this one, and then look at 18, the ball carrier.
But they're also allowed to do that, mate, if they score the try directly after?
Yes, but before that.
Okay, so you're not looking at this one in the lead up to the try, you're looking at the previous
Correct.
one,
So
and you're saying that
one,
they
yeah.
are pre-bound, and then they go to floor. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. I'm just going to roll it back for you one more time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so number 17 and number 6, New Zealand, pre-latched into that ruck, leading up to the following phase and the try being scored.
So it's this one here, isn't it? So they're pre-bound either side, they then go through and then they go to floor. Is that right, mate? Yeah?
Correct.
You agree? Yep, so no try, come back.
I tell you what, guy can't see a high tackle, but he goes looking for that. That's an incredible call from a TMO. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
To the letter of the law, sure.
Good work, man. Well done.
But in the spirit of the contest, not sure.
So we've got the pre-latch. We're going back for the advantage of offside. Max, you got the mark, please. Awesome, thanks, mate. No try, offside, go back for the advantage.
For those of you who are lost, and you're probably right to be, it is a penalty to the Black Ferns. No try, tried to sell out, so Kalunavali might have to go for another here, and Chubik may well help her out with a kick to touch. And you cannot pre-bind more than one player onto a ball carrier unless it's in the act of scoring the try.
Make sure we're legal here, okay? In 5. Advantage.
Further advantage now for the Black Ferns. We'll get back to some footy. Cox edge cutting. Aisha Leteinga trying to step away over and through and around everyone. Over the top. There's the play. There's the try. Double latch that.
Well deserved there, Alana Bremner. Great tip off from Kaipo Olsen-Baker. Really good set piece, and it started with Aisha Leteinga coming into the line. It was a clinical set move here. Good control from Malmo. Great tip off from Kaipo Olsen-Baker and good finish there.
Not a lot happening out on the right wing, so we're seeing Ruby Tui sprint in, getting her high-speed meters up on her GPS to come and celebrate with her teammates. Great work to her as well, but how cool was that, seeing Kaipo again having something to do with that phase of play, and then rewarding her outside her number 6, Alana Bremner.
Alana Bremner has been really effective for me in those wide channels today, especially out on the left in combination with Leteinga. Les, something that's a factor of her game?
Yeah, she's actually really, she's got a great skill set on the edge. She loves playing out wide on the fringes of the field. And when you've got someone like a Aish Leteinga inside or outside you, that's going to give you a world of confidence as well. So great combination there working together.
Cox edge, bends it and just short. It is 10 apiece. This is a thriller here in Tauranga.
Probably like to notice that, or like to mention that the momentum has definitely been all black this side of the game. You're probably looking for those big plays to be made by Shannon Perry, Gracie Hamilton, M. Chancellor. They're going to be critical in taking their team forward. They need to step up right now.
You can feel the shift. Certainly some rope-a-dope vibes about this game at the moment, but a long way to go. 51.5 gone. The Wallaroos will just know they need to get back into their groove, keeping possession for long periods of play, applying that pressure they were able to in the first half.
We're waiting for the ball and I was doing my shoelace. Right. Simon.
Fighting now, the Ferns and the Wallaroos in possession on the Black Ferns 10-metre line. What can they conjure up? Here's the skipper. Perry loses it in contact. Big tackle from Kendra Reynolds. And away goes Wallaroos. Numbers here. Demont with the kick. The chase on for Tui and the touchline wins.
Great that they were able to get that field position there, but I think they had 5 on 2. An easy catch pass, back the skill set. Blackburns are known for their skill set, but great heads-up footy here from Maya Kawanakalani Roos. She'd had a great run, great support, good continuity, and again you see 5v2. Almost back your skill set and get Rugby Tui away with ball in hand.
Another substitution coming up with Jonah Nangwu replacing Chelsea Bremner. To the Bremner family, congratulations to you all on your effort and getting that debut together. Chelsea, outstanding. Congrats.
Yeah, here, Liz. Pressure on. I just think back to that play. We might have this one again. I just think back to this play. And I think Ruhe Demont just took that ball slightly behind her, and by that stage, all 4 others had overrun the play. And she probably realised she just could not get herself back in front to use the pass and catch play.
Yeah, in conditions like this, it's really challenging or a little bit more difficult to get balls out in front and catching early, passing early. But again, it's those decision-making efforts from key players, the likes of Demont, to be able to see the space. But do I run? Do I pass? Do I catch? And I mean, they say no decision at the time is a wrong one, but at least they're in the right areas of the paddock right now.
Good platform. Here goes Olsen Baker off the back. Bates tall. Gets the try. That's magnificent.
Absolutely outstanding, Olsen Baker. I am standing up here in the commentary box. What a great deception from Kendra Coxie. She went open. Kaipo, all over to you. Took it from the back base of the scrum. Leslie Alder talked about it earlier. Watch her from the base of the scrum. She's back to her power. That fin takes out 2, 3 people there. Outstanding from Kaipo Olsen Baker. What a debut performance from her.
100% Sui. She had a bit of work to do there, but she's got the power, the speed, and the grit to dig in and do what she just did. Great work, Kaipo.
Another tough conversion attempt for a record-setting Blackfern today, Kendra Coxedge. She gave an honest nudge, but again, just not enough. Look at the timing of Coxedge. Perfect timing. She split left. Kaipo Olsen Baker had so much to do. Outstanding.
There's 139. 12. Okay. Come on, make sure we stay behind.
What a find. Christina Sue, Kaipo Olsen Baker, what a find.
Couple of substitutions with Lane Morgan, number 21, coming on for Pauline Piliai.
Thank you, Les. I think we're going to start seeing a few high numbers out there in this one. Good aggression from Kelsey Tanetti, also on debut today. She doesn't want to let Kaipo Olsen Baker have all the fun. Coxedge. Good pass back in from Roos. And that's Olsen Baker again. Kalunubale had a try ruled out earlier in the half. Coxedge to Demont. Australia just starting to fall off tackles now, and that one's gone loose in the carry. But the first knock-on came against Australia, and so the Black Ferns will have the ball. 10 turnovers conceded now for Australia, 12 for the Black Ferns. So that stat's going in a direction Australia would rather it not.
Yeah, you certainly sense the change in momentum, which is great for the Black Ferns in terms of them generating some phases and continuity.
Sorry, just correction there. Lane Morgan replacing Eliseva Batibasaga, number 9 for the Wallaroos.
Thank you, Les. M. Chancellor just sorting out the boots. Those of you watching around the world, it's not always like this weather-wise. In fact, it's one of the sunniest regions in the country. As a general rule, Bay of Plenty. Tauranga, Mount Maunganui with its beautiful main beach, Papamoa Beach, all the way down the coast, through to Whakatane, and around the hill to Potiki. It is a beautiful part of the country. Delightful coastline. We'll show you what the mountain looked like, but you can't see it through the clouds. There's Wayne Smith, Director of Rugby for the Black Ferns, appointed earlier this year, a World Cup winning coach twice over. Man of enormous mana, respect.
Can you give us some insight, Les Elder, in terms of Wayne Smith's involvement in the Black Ferns and what he's done in the short time that he's been with the team?
Obviously, his rugby knowledge is just outstanding and demands that respect straight away. So he captured the room even before he spoke. But I mean, his energy out on the grass, you know, he's in on the drills, he's holding hit shields, he's in the dojo, you know, walking the example, and the girls just love it. At the same time, he's connected really well with all the girls. And I think one thing which I've experienced myself is that he challenges us to be better than what we currently are. So he's always pushing the boundaries, allows the mistakes, allows an environment to create errors, but to learn from those errors to be better.
Shane Tregonning, Australian contemporary. And then again, a little bit more animated on the microphone at the moment. His team finding itself under some pressure after dominating the first half. Black Ferns have clawed their way back into this match. And it's through a big scrum as well. Sorry, Les, carry on.
No, I just seen a switch in the loosies with M. Chancellor going to the back of the scrum, so packing down at 8, and Gracie Hamilton coming to the side.
Yeah, seen that a couple of times today. I don't know whether that's just a stylistic thing for them or whether they're most suited at scrum time. But it's about Hazel Tubik at the moment. Great ball over the top. No, not good enough. Holmes scoops it up. Alana Bremner, fabulous carry. Kalunivali sets it beautifully for Coxedge. Tubik again, starting to pull the strings out here. Luca Connor, 6 out, the ball squirts out the side. They win the penalty, the Black Ferns.
How good was that line break from Hazel Tubik? She's really injected herself since she's come onto the field. You know, really taking the back line forward and identifying holes and backing herself to take them. So great work by Hazel.
Go, back you come. No, back you go. She's not on the right mark. Anna's talking to the captain.
Vision was there, wasn't it, from Tubik? Again, spoke about her calmness and her composure, Sui. It's on show here at the moment, just taking a little pressure off the captain, Demont, as well.
Yeah, it has. She's come into the game with that impact and that decision-making. We know she's nimble footwork, that ability to see space and still have the courage to throw that ball and trusting in that bounce. And I think you spoke about it earlier with Alana Bremner on that edge. You know, she's isolated, she's on her own, she knows to use her footwork and come into the support. So a really good, I guess, attacking effort from the Black Ferns overall.
Got a split field set up here with Hazel on the blind side and Ruahei, that first receiver, on the open side. It'll be interesting to see what they do, maybe to bring Aisha into this play.
Scrum first. Has looked better and better throughout this match. They take it open. Ball is there, straight over the top. They should win the penalty. No, it goes against instead. Thought there was a turnover for all money from Emily Chancellor.
The picture that Sarah Cox would have just seen there was that the hands went on the ground before directly on the ball, and she was in a good position to see that, hence they were considered that penalty there, the Wallaroos.
Otherwise, you'll end up in problems, okay? You've called scrums, she's tapped. Don't make for one voice.
Listen, Baker. What an amazing performance for her to go to the distance today on debut.
Well, they just took what I thought they'd do, threw that out the window and just said, give it to Kaipor.
I was going to call that, Les, that Kaipor was going to go off the back, but she did in the end.
That's why you're a game driver and I just clean racks.
Well, the upshot is the Black Ferns this time decide on taking the 3. This pushes them out past the converted try margin. And Cox Edge makes no mistake. Her first points in the match.
One observation from the sideline is Ruby is standing out wide and she is screaming, jumping. So I wouldn't be surprised if they chuck in a cross kick option, because there is space out there which you won't see on screen. Looks like we've got Arabella McKenzie come on, number 23 for the Wallaroos. About to take the kick off.
7th test for Arabella McKenzie. Still to score a point. Started in the test so far in 2022, and have a look at the hustle again here. Lost by Australia is the call from Sarah Cox. Here's Maya Roos. Having to pick up and carry on. Cox Edge, which blocked, was Joanna Nganwu.
No, leave! No!
Through the middle she goes again. Nganwu with a couple of big plays. Olsen Baker sets it again. Here's Kaluna Valley.
Here in number 18 also come on, Asoiva Kapani, replacing Liz Patu.
Australian front row having another change then. Patu's been big today. Hamilton was caught at the back of the ruck. Schubert trying to put the pressure on Laurie Kramer.
Go wait, go wait!
She has got a great boot on her. Won't find touch though. Here's Chubik again. Loves taking on the line. Couldn't quite link up with Sui, who might get back into a support position in time.
Good counter ruck.
Kaluna Valley took a couple to put her down. Mulu. Into the final quarter of the match as Connor picks up. This front row has been hungry since entering the game.
Yes, all off our feet, all off the feet.
Roos now.
Unless you've got any difference.
Clean out comes from Kaluna Valley, but then the knock on.
It was Jonah Namrood's third attempt to pick and go right up in between the A defenders or the defenders closest to the ruck. Third time just didn't quite pull off, but the attempt was there.
Here we go, another debutante in black. Tafito Lafaeli, number 20, taking Kendra Reynolds.
Solid, uncompromising effort from Kendra Reynolds, but Tafito Lafaeli, here's a player who only picked up a ball 3 years ago and is now wearing the colours of her country. Incredible effort and a very gifted player.
We also have Pippa Duck, number 20 for the Wallaroos, replacing Emily Chancellor, who's had an outstanding game for her side.
You can't complain about the Australian back row today at all. Chancellor, it's been great. Piper Duck with some big boots to fill out here as this game gets closed out. Which way is it going to go?
Set.
Australia led at the break, 10 points to 5. But their scrum has gone backwards most of the second half. Mahalia Murphy, can she work her magic on the outside? The short answer is no. Through the hands.
Now she fumbled the ball on the ground.
Ashley Masters. And then an old school bomb, really. No direction, but Aisha Letiinga cannot hold on. Works out in Australia's favour. Maybe this could flick the switch.
A good option there from Arabella McKenzie. You know, she's played for the Matatu. She has a really good kick on her, and you said the old school up and under, but in these conditions it was pivotal and it paid off.
That last one, ball was already gone. Yeah. Right, let's make sure we stay in the competition. Make sure you're pushing straight. You stay in that competition, okay? Crouch. Bind. Set.
Huge scrum this time, and they are penalised.
That was an unreal scrum. Angel Mulu. Take your head off. Great work from that front row.
No, you stepped out. You must stay in the contest. You stepped out under pressure.
I thought Sarah Cox had put her hand up for the other team for a second there. The Black Ferns get the penalty, and Hazel Tubic carves off some good yards here.
And here we go, another substitution for the Black Ferns. Shayal Robin-Reti replacing Renee Holmes. Shayal 23, Renee coming off number 15.
Okay, over, step over, please, step over. Thank you. Come on.
Ball's there. Luca Connor. It's all over the show.
Back. Forward.
Connor can't hold on to this one. Maybe a little ambitious in the conditions.
Okay, be
And
careful.
the first
Make sure you
mistake
stay
has
on your
been
feet.
picked up.
No advantage. Over come.
But I appreciate the confidence to want to throw that ball around. I think that's the second time we've seen this special play off the line out happen. But yeah, like you said, conditions make it really tough to pull these things off. But I don't think it'll dampen their spirits to try
Okay,
again.
same message again. Stay in the contest, please.
I mean, you've been in some close tests, Les, so you understand, both of you and Christina understand the power of momentum in an international and how quickly things can change and when you can start to feel on top. And I get the feeling the Black Ferns very much feel on top at the moment. Forget the scoreboard, just in the way the game is panning out.
Agree. They seem to be throwing the ball around a lot freer, having a bit more fun with it by the looks of it. But just need to, like you said, it's only an 8-point lead. Still a lot of time to go. And right now we've got Australia on the charge.
Right there.
Still inside their own 10-metre line. McKenzie again goes for the high one. And this has got a spiral on it too. It's a hybrid bomb snowflake, and Aisha Letiinga drops it, but drops it backwards. And offside line is there. Wallaroos, their own worst enemies on that play. Cox Edge finds Nan Wu. And the turnover is made.
Would have liked to have seen that ball go from Jonah to Lou to Ruahe. I think there were some numbers in space out wide.
Just inside the touchline, and it's a good kick. And the Wallaroos make some yards. They play on. Ruby Tui gets the pass, drops the ball under pressure from Piper Duck. Here's the opportunity. Hamilton taken down just outside the 22.
No, no!
A try here, and this place will go absolutely crazy. McKenzie.
Over.
Morgan popping it up, looking for runners. Just getting a little tangled up here, the Wallaroos. They'll win the penalty.
Get out quicker. 20, out
Tafito
quicker.
Lafayette, the player penalised. Now the decision from the Australian captain Shannon Parry.
Yeah. Shot. Shot.
Big call this, huge call this. Shannon
where it is,
Parry has decided shot at goal
Go behind the
to
mark.
bring it back
Behind the mark.
to a 5-point margin.
Could be a good opportunity for the Wallaroos to just regather and resettle. Like we said, the momentum hasn't been on their side of the pitch, so this could be a good decision to just regroup.
Ladies, what are you seeing? Because it's feeling like we're all getting a bit lazy on that back foot. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, cool. Just breakdowns are starting to get a bit messy, so just keep an eye on those back feet and making sure that we still got space to play with, all right? Magic.
29% territory in the second half for Australia. We dominated that statistic in the first. Here's Laurie Kramer looking to add 3, and it's away to the right. The scoreline remains 18 points to 10. Blackferns to restart from the 22.
Make sure they're all behind. They're all behind.
That's a good old-fashioned worm burner to get us underway. Kapani takes the tackle of Maya Kawana Roos. Back to Kapani
Okay, no
again.
hands. No hands.
Met heavily by Angel Mulu. There was a good battle of the two front rowers.
It's been a day for the Popos, that's for sure. And some great performances from front rowers today. Morgan, good ball wide. They don't have the numbers and they don't have control, the Wallaroos. It will be a scrum for the Blackferns.
Let go, off we go, off we go.
Good to see a bit of push and shove down there between Laurie Kramer and Kelsey Tanetti.
That's it, time off.
But that line speed by the Blackferns is just putting the Wallaroos under pressure.
Say the subs again, mate. I just throw him on,
It's a golden rule though, isn't it? So you just cannot shovel the ball onto a player in a worse position. Just shepherd it across the field and into touch.
Yeah, the old school saying is, if in doubt, just carry. And I think in that situation, Kramer, who loves a bit of footwork, just needed to hold on to the pill then and just take it into contact.
We've got a replacement for the Wallaroos, Annabelle Cody, making her debut in number 19, replacing Caitlin Lenny. Congratulations to Annabelle Cody and her family on your debut today.
Just get messy in there, isn't it? Yeah.
It's been a great day for our young wahine in rugby today. So many debutantes, so many wonderful family moments, and you can capture some more great moments with the official Rugby World Cup app, available now on iOS and Android devices. QR code on your screen. Make sure you're part of the action. Rugby World Cup tickets on sale 30th of June, and New Zealand is going to show the world a wonderful time.
Yeah, just come in here. Yeah, that's all right, mate. Yeah, no problems. We've still got time off for you to do that. No worries. You're just making an injury sub. Here, man.
Dave Linton taking the photos on the sideline. 22 is on the field too, Cecilia Smith.
There, man. Magic. Okay, cool.
Vanya
Put
Wong.
the time back on. There's your mark, okay?
The afternoon is over, and we're into the final 10 minutes. Christina Sue.
Happy days. Time
Where
off.
do the Blackferns go from here? Do they look to be adventurous? Do they shut this game down?
Yeah, game management's going to be absolutely critical in this last 10 minutes. And I think the game drivers, Hazel Tubick's been outstanding since she's been on, and they'll be probably looking for this territory gain and field position from this set piece.
Set! There is plenty of room for you to get your head in, okay? Hold your weight, put your head in the space, please. I think this is the best we're going to get. You want to come over? Come over if you want to, yeah. There you go.
You guys are doing awesome, guys. Keep it up.
Hurts. Monster. Shun. Lumps. On me.
Second.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Grace Hamilton on the side of the scrum, urging her pack to fight. That's chewed a minute of the game up. That reset, and that one was just too much for Demont to handle. Here's Piper Duck. She looks aggressive.
Okay, you're off your feet there. We'll go back. No advantage.
Interesting, you asked before, Sumo, what I think was going to happen, and you know, my understanding or my initial anticipation was that they may have gone for just a position and territory, playing that. I guess sometimes it might be a bit boring, but it's rugby, and when you're playing conditions like this and you try to force that on pass, it makes it very difficult. And now Wallaroos are back in the game here with an attacking opportunity.
Okay, let's make sure we drive straight both sides, please. Your call, Anna. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Coxedge comes around, makes the tackle. Lane Morgan, well, no, she's been in a test after a battle with Kendra Coxedge, that's for sure. It's Piper Duck again. It's a massive bump off of Kelsey Tanete just moments ago. Advantage for the Black Ferns. Can they close the game out? Aisha Leteinga. Shale Robbins-Reti now cutting back in field. Duck is there to make the tackle, and then some. Angel Mulu. Great clean out by Kaluna Valley, and Connor was there to take the next carry. That's how a front row works together. Chibik puts the kick in. Ruby Tui was offside. Charge down is made.
No, ball's here. Leave it alone, Black. Ball's here.
Morgan. Energy sapping afternoon. And the Wallaroos are looking tired at the moment as they try to find a way back in.
Okay, leave it alone.
Just over 6 minutes remaining. Morgan. Fredericks. Got the ball back, and Roos was there to make the tackle.
No, don't touch. You're taking them off their feet.
Hamilton almost run herself to a standstill here. Duck. Opportunity for Mahalia Murphy on the outside. Nothing doing. Tanete and Leteinga combined to make the tackle, and then just a clumsy fold over from Aisha Leteinga.
Entry.
It's just that decision making at the breakdown, whether they know, have they secured that breakdown, have they secured that ball, and do they go into to be a menace, as some would say, or do they just fan out and look to have a set defensive line and apply pressure with line speed? I tell you, Duck, she's been outstanding the minutes she's had when she's been on defensively and attack. She's been really good, Piper Duck.
So time's off. Time's off.
Maybe a bit of a context issue or dirt in the eye here with Angel Mulu. I'd love to take a screenshot of that picture right now. She's one of the girls that always finds the most glamorous photos of you when you're playing rugby.
Cool, we all sorted? All done? Okay.
Great attacking opportunity here for the
Stay on your mark.
Wallaroos.
Stay on your mark, please. Okay. Not straight.
Well, mistakes at line-out time, and you're prepared to forgive because conditions here really are not conducive to accuracy in any part of the game. But Kaipo Wilson-Baker, she has had a debut to remember today.
Nice.
Believe the hype.
There's your mark.
She's been up against a couple of wily campaigners as well. Hamilton has given all. Shannon Parry,
okay?
Emily Chancellor. Liz Patu had a massive impact in the game. And Pauline Piliai-Rasambali, as Les Alda mentioned, was also strong earlier, but there is Hamilton on the side.
Bind! Set!
A big week for the Bremner family too. Alana Bremner putting in a great performance at 6 for the Ferns today too. Ball is knocked down.
Yeah, got it, mate. Thank you.
Tubic has to get the team out of trouble. Less than 4. Murphy. Chopped down in the tackle of Alana Bremner with help from Roos. Lane Morgan finds McKenzie.
Chris, can you check that?
Fredericks.
That's breakdown for me.
Good ball over the
I know
top.
one of the Australians is not
Had to
taking
wait on it was Cecilia Smith.
23 offside, must come back onside.
Chanel Robbins-Retty penalised for offside play. Here is Hamilton, indefatigable today. Goodness me.
Luca Connor with the turnover there. She's unstoppable when she picks a ruck like that. And here we go, Blackburns on the attack.
More turnover play. Roos feeds it back for Coxedge. Tubic again, kicking again. Letta Inga takes the catch. Can't get away from Murphy. Safita Lafayette. Popping it off the ground and Dumont puts it down.
1, 2.
That was an exciting passage of play. Good awareness by Hazel Tubic to be able to kick crossfield to her winger there. And then the offload ability shown by Aisha Leteinga and Tafito Lafaele.
MasterCard player of the match does indeed go to Kaipo Olsen-Baker, carrying on somewhat of a theme of the day. Earlier, Sophie de Goody, the Canadian captain, debuting as captain, picking up the MasterCard player of the match.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Great performance from a player of amazing promise, and they've scrummed them off the ball here, the Ferns. Looking to close out on a positive note. 18-10. Nganwu. Tubic. Hands from Dumont. Robbins-Retty out to Ruby Tui. Tui has to cut back. Gets a knee down, feeds it for Coxedge. Luca Connor. Masters makes the tackle. Kalunavale. Lafaele breaks the first again, sets it. Connor again. Bremner, already one for her. Tafito Lafaele.
How busy has she been in this passage of play, Tafito?
Incredible from her. Such long legs, and then picks up, throws the pass this time. The bench front row for the Black Ferns deserve a big pat on the back as well. 30 seconds remaining. Tubic. Here's the kick. Here's the chase. Can't quite get there. Everything but for Ruby Tui.
I'm going to check the grounding. I've got on-field no try because they do not have a clear grounding. However, if we don't have one, we'll go back for an advantage.
They are playing
Yes,
under
just
penalty
confirming your on-field
advantage.
decision is no
Great
try.
option
No try.
again from Hazel Tubic. She's got the skill
Just
set to
checking now if
execute
there's
those
grounding.
crossfield kicks. But I think this whole passage of play, I think, went to about 9 or 10 phases Azor from the back of a really solid set piece. Sumo, you said it before about the impact off the bench. The front row have been outstanding.
That whole bench, and yes, like you said, Sumo said it as well, that whole bench has just injected some energy into the second half. Great go forward, great physicality. Their double actions, outstanding from those debutants and from those ones coming off the side.
Rube's trying to sell a try there. I don't think she got within a foot of it.
She can sell anything, but I don't know if she'll be able to sell that one, Rubes.
I think it's a little misleading.
Yeah, look, mate, it's not clear enough for us to judge on, so you're going to have to take control of this one. So I think roll through your angles, make sure you're clear
on the screen as well.
on if that is grounded or not, and then come back to us with a decision, because we can't judge on the clarity of the screen here.
Yes, I'm just confirming
So go through this
if
back
there is
angle
separation from the hand when the ball's on the ground.
I think that's the angle.
So I'm just syncing up the two angles and see if I can judge whether or not there's a clear thing to stand by. So I have a decision.
Yep.
There is no clear evidence of a grounding to overturn your on-field decision. Go back to your penalty.
So I'll go back to the penalty advantage. We'll try. Yep. Yeah. Cool.
Kelowna Valley back live. Penalty advantage taken quickly.
Leave it. Ball's available. Hands up. Fancy John's offside. On the line. On the line.
Luca Connor, dangerous from the back of the rack. Often where she finds all her tries.
Close but no cigar. Now there is.
There we go.
Like that. Aisha Leteinga scores the final try for the Ferns.
Right on full time. She deserved that one, Ace. She's been busy in the game today, making great line breaks. Great injection in the back line there. Awesome on the edges. She deserved to dot down in this game today.
A brilliant finish there from Aish Leteinga, and you said it before, Les, she's been involved in everything today and a deserving effort there. Great little pass from Kendra Coxedge, saw the space. Normally to throw the long ball, it was almost like a basketball pass, but hey, it got there in the end, and a great finish to what is now a convincing win.
Two tries today for Aisha Leteinga, and a win for the Black Ferns. They will stretch their record to 21-0 against Australia. They were behind by 5 at the break. Coxedge looking to add the icing, can't do so. A big comeback on what's shaped as a big day for the Black Ferns. After the pain of November and the pain of some genuine soul searching over the last few months, this team has emerged here in the rain in Tauranga and have put a win on the board to start their Pacific 4 campaign. All right, let's go now to Narelle Sindos, who's standing by with our winning captain from the Black Ferns.
Bill, hey, congratulations, but Australia, they made you work for it.
Yeah, we knew coming into this game that you can never count Aussie out. that's just the Aussie spirit, and they brought it for the full 80. So full credit to them. They played to the conditions. But I'm so proud of our girls. I'm happy that we turned up today, and I'm even more happy that we could get the win for our debutantes, and more importantly for Kendra on this historic day.
And marking your first test as captain with a win, how special was it to do it in front of home fans?
I guess I'm really lost for words. I never thought this day would come. But to do it here in the Waiariki, where I'm from, in front of my whānau who came over today, in the pouring rain, it's like a fairy tale.
Did you manage to watch any of Canada's match earlier? Obviously a tough challenge next week with them.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to watch too much of the game. We just saw the end. This week we've just prepared and focused on Australia. But after the game, I know the girls will enjoy this moment, and then tomorrow we'll look to our opponent next week.
Well, congratulations and enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you so much.
Ruahei Dumont, on debut as Black Ferns captain for this game, gets her first win of her tenure, 23 points to 10. It was maybe a day of what could have been for the Wallaroos. Let's go and hear now from their captain, Shannon Perry.
Well, Shannon, you started off with a hiss and a roar, but couldn't hold on to the lead. What went wrong?
Yeah, I think for us, we stuck to our game plan for about 60 minutes, and then a bit of fatigue set in. But you know, the Kiwis, they make you pay, and they did that to us today. But really proud of the girls' effort. We really hung in there till the end.
How much do you think you've evolved and improved since the last time you faced the Black Ferns?
Yeah, I think massively. For us, it's about, you know, building towards that World Cup towards the end of the year, and to play a top opposition like the Black Ferns, it's really good preparation for us. And you know, this young and experienced team, we're taking leaps and bounds. This is just another step to that journey.
What confidence can you take from this performance heading into America next week?
Oh, I think a lot. To match it with them for so long, especially in conditions like this, typical New Zealand rugby weather. We don't play it in Australia that much, so you know, really good stepping stone through our group, and you know, we've got another game next week and the week after, so just building steps for us at the moment.
Shannon, thanks for your time.
No worries, thank you. Ta.
Upbeaten, well, she should be as well. Thought the Wallaroos were great today, and that is a big improvement on the last time these two sides faced. On that occasion, the Black Ferns far too good, but they look to be closing the gap. And I think Shannon Perry was right. I think some fatigue set in there, and that was half the problem. Well, time to present the MasterCard Player of the Match, and it's presented by our fan of the match, Oceana Campbell. Oceana's a MasterCard Youth Unstoppable representative for New Zealand. Her parents first introduced her to sport at 4 years of age. She's now in love with it. She wants to play Super Rugby Aupiki and for the Black Ferns, and she presents the MasterCard Player of the Match award to Kaipo Olsen Baker, who's time for a chat with Narelle Sindos. Thank you,
Kaipo, congratulations, your first test debut and with a try to boot in front of your home fans. Can't ask for much more than that.
Oh no, I'm so happy. My whānau up there. I'm just so stoked to be here. It's so cold and I can't wait to get out of these clothes, but yeah, I'm super stoked to be here in front of my family.
You had the security guards yelling, St. John ambulance staff cheering. What does the support mean to you guys?
Oh, it means so much. Just seeing everybody here today in the rain, yeah, I'm super happy.
I'll let you get off and get dry, get warm and get rested. All the best next week.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a wet day, but it's been a great day. Canada take the victory, so do New Zealand. The first day of the Pacific Four is done. We'll see you for match day 2 very soon.